You know that feeling, right? That dull, just uncomfortable ache in your stomach after a meal? We've all been there. But what if the best way to understand this super common, modern problem isn't new at all? What if it's actually ancient? Today we're going to dive into a system of wisdom that's been tackling this for thousands of years.
It usually starts as just a little whisper, a feeling of being a bit too full, maybe a little pressure. But before you know it, bam, you're dealing with a full-blown stomachache, and all you want is some relief.
Well, guess what? This feeling is hardly new. For literally thousands of years, people have been documenting this exact same discomfort. What you're looking at here isn't just some dusty old book. It's a roadmap. It's a guide written by people who studied this stuff for centuries.
Now, to really get their solution, you have to understand their whole system. And we're not just talking about medicine here. We're talking about a complete philosophy for living, an incredible ancient system from India called Ayurveda. The word Ayurveda itself literally means the science of life. And its main idea? It's so simple but so powerful. It says that true health isn't just about not being sick. It's about a state of perfect balance between your body, your mind, and your spirit. Everything, and I mean everything, flows from that one idea.
So how does Ayurveda even measure this balance? Well, it all comes down to these three fundamental energies, or doshas. Think of them as the three managers of your body. You've got Vata, which is all about movement. Then there's Pitta, the energy of digestion and, well, fire. And finally, Kapha, which is about structure and stability. When you're healthy, these three are working together in perfect harmony.
So how would this ancient system look at something as simple as a stomachache? Well, here's the thing. In Ayurveda, that discomfort isn't just some random thing that happens. No, it's a signal. It's like a flashing red light on your body's dashboard, screaming at you that something is out of balance.
And this leads to a really important shift in thinking. The stomachache? It's not actually the problem. It's the symptom of the problem. The real issue is that one of those fundamental doshas, one of those energies, has been thrown totally out of whack.
And what's one of the biggest things that can throw your system into chaos? You guessed it, it's what you eat. And what's so cool about this slide is you're looking at a page from an ancient text doing just that. It's cataloging different foods based on exactly how they affect your internal balance. Amazing, right?
Let's take a closer look. So, the texts warn that things like sour foods, chili, and lots of spices can aggravate pitta. Remember, pitta is the fire dosha, so these foods basically add more fire to your system, leading to that burning indigestion feeling. On the other hand, stuff like chickpeas, lentils, or really dry or cold foods, those can disturb vata, the energy of movement, which can cause that gassy, bloated feeling. It's like a diagnostic map based on what's on your dinner plate.
Okay, so if the diagnosis is imbalance, what's the fix? This is where Ayurveda turns to what you could call nature's pharmacy. It uses specific herbs and preparations not just to cover up the pain, but to actually restore that equilibrium you've lost. And they were incredibly specific about it. I mean, look at this page. This isn't just some vague advice like, eat more herbs. No, this is a direct prescription for what they called udar sul, which translates to stomachache.
So what does this ancient script actually say to do? It's a surprisingly simple formula. It calls for a special medicinal prep called Kapardik basma, which is basically a type of ash made from cowrie shells used for digestive issues, and tells you to mix it with a pinch of black pepper. Then you put that mixture inside a lemon wedge, and the instruction is simply to suck on the lemon. Simple, elegant, and straight from the source.
And that's just one remedy out of thousands. I mean, these texts are basically giant encyclopedias of plants, breaking down all their properties, their effects, and exactly how to prepare them. This was a science built on incredibly careful observation over generations and generations.
And you know what's really wild? Many of these powerful remedies are probably sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now. The texts talk about ginger being a carminative, which is a fancy word for saying it helps get rid of gas. Cumin for flatulence, black pepper to kickstart your digestion, and of course, turmeric for its amazing anti-inflammatory powers. This isn't some exotic, far-off idea. It's everyday wisdom.
But the Ayurvedic approach wasn't only about what you put inside your body. They also knew how powerful it was to treat discomfort from the outside in, using the skin as a direct path for healing. And this is where the amazing idea of a medicinal poultice comes in.
Right here on this slide, you can see the instructions for creating something called a lap, which is basically a medicinal paste or poultice, and it's prescribed yet again for udar pitta, stomach pain.
The idea is to apply warmth and healing herbs right onto the spot that hurts to soothe the pain.
And the recipe for it is just brilliantly simple. You just make a paste from flour and a bit of milk or water, you mix in some turmeric for those anti-inflammatory properties, warm it up gently, and then you apply that warm, soothing paste directly to your abdomen. It's such a direct, external approach to an internal problem.
So what's the takeaway here? What do we do with all this? How does this ancient way of looking at a simple stomachache actually fit into our super fast modern lives? That's really the big question, isn't it?
Well, you can kind of think of the Ayurvedic approach like this. The core principle from the past is that health equals balance. Simple. The problem we face in the present is that a symptom, like indigestion, is just the sign of an imbalance. So the path for the future isn't about attacking that symptom, it's about gently guiding the body back to its natural balanced state. And that really reframes the whole idea of what medicine is. In this system, healing is an act of restoration. You're not just popping a pill to shut off a pain signal. You're using food, herbs, and certain practices to literally rebuild harmony inside your own body.
And all of this is captured in this really profound idea that you find in these texts that for a wise person, the entire world is a medicine cabinet. Everything, from a spice in your kitchen to a root in the ground to a simple change in your routine, it all has the potential to heal, if you just know how to use it.
Which kind of leaves us with one last thought to chew on. We live in an age of instant pills for instant relief. And look, that definitely has its place. But what valuable lessons might we be missing from an ancient science that champions not speed, but slow, deliberate, and sustainable balance? It's definitely something to think about.